Welcome to this episode of the Public Nuisance Podcast, brought to you from Killen Studios, right here, where you can get all your content done, from photo shoots, the podcast tailored for you. We have it. Let's not forget that praise guy doing millions of pounds and prizes every single year, donating to charity, helping out communities, helping out local football teams. You name it, they're doing it. Magic, get on their website and see what prizes they have to offer. With us today, we have Cliftonville's finest, Rory Hale. Cheers for coming on, lad. Appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing me on.
It's a good spot here, isn't it? It's decent enough. I always tell people it's a wee bit like when you say Ballyclare, it's like fuck off, and then they come up. It's not too far to Belfast, but then when you get in here, it doesn't feel like you're in Ballyclare.
Definitely not. Nah, it's actually a good wee setup, boy.
And the coffee's good as well, so 100%. You can't be bad to it.
You treated me today, thank you.
Don't worry about that. I'm sending an invoice.
You're getting all like going on Ealer.
I'm sending an invoice for it. Fuck's sake. So what's the crack? You're just back from holiday?
Aye, so it's 4 weeks off her. Absolutely brilliant. Flies in.
Yeah.
We're back to the craft now, and started back last Monday or so. That's us preparing for Europe for another 11 months of hell here. Yeah. So tight enough. Got some team from Gibraltar, St. Joseph's. They lost their league in goal difference, so it's going to be a tight enough game. But winners of that get Shamrock Rovers, which would be absolutely mental.
Yeah, it would be amazing for, like, obviously just having that All Ireland, like, domestic game in Europe would be class, because obviously going to Gibraltar and getting that experience of going away and going away in Europe and all is always good, I suppose, but having that domestic thing for the club as a whole must be fucking class. Like,
could you play them type of games every pre-season? You play the friendlies against them boys, but it's a friendly. It's always a token gesture. It's getting minutes in the legs, but you know, if you think Irish Cup final sell out or League Cup final sell out in a couple of minutes, imagine you were down at Tala against Shamrock Rovers, Cliftonville and Rovers, who are probably, you know, partnering clubs.
Yeah.
Their fans support Cliftonville and Cliftonville fans support Rovers. It would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And then, do you know anyone plays for Shamrock Rovers on a personal level?
Arm McComb, I went to his wedding and all last year, so as soon as the draw was made, I gave him a text going, hope to God we beat this Gibraltar team here.
Did they get a bye, or are they playing?
So Rovers actually got a bye to the second round. Drogheda were actually meant to be in the second round because they won the cup.
Right.
But they've been kicked out of Europe because some Swedish team, the owner owns Emmons as well.
Oh, right.
You can't have two teams in the same competition. So Drogheda got kicked out, Rovers got a bye. Fox, Johnny Fuckers. We're grafting out in Gibraltar in 32 degrees heat to try and get a result.
It'll be hard to adapt that, won't it? Like that heat playing.
It will, and do you know what? Them clubs can use that their advantage. So you obviously pick your kickoff times. We're obviously 7:45 when you come to Northern Ireland. But when we go to Gibraltar, our kickoff's 5 o'clock UK time, so 6 o'clock in Gibraltar, where it's going to be 30 plus degrees, which will be a huge factor in the way we play. You don't get much heat here, you know what I mean, to prepare. So it's been it'll be quite difficult, to be fair.
Obviously the hydration will be big, like, because travelling you tend to fucking like dehydrate when you're travelling. Also, usually be like hydration is going to be key for it, especially like playing that heat.
It's a tight enough schedule too, because Joe Gormley's testimonial game's actually on the Sunday. We play Derry for Joe's testimonial, and then we have the game's been changed to the Tuesday, so it was originally meant to be the Thursday. But fucking over in Gibraltar, they're only playing one stadium, and there's 3 teams playing in Europe. So our game has been moved to a Tuesday, so we'll play on the Sunday, fly out Sunday night, straight after the match, and then you have a tight turnaround, try and get a training session in on the Monday, and then fucking play on the Tuesday.
You don't do a couple minutes, roll off or something for the testimonial, will you? Just be a bit of fun.
I think you have to give Joe the respect he deserves as well, because you know it's a big day for him. He 100% deserves that moment. So it wouldn't be nice to see, you know. Yeah,
there's people that's going on.
Going through the motions, because
you still play with intensity, but
because if we're playing Derry and everyone, you end up getting beat 8 or 9-0. You know what I mean? You don't want that.
They have a strong squad now too, haven't they? Like with Boise, and all be good. Because I was asking, will he play for Joe's testimonial team, or will he play for Derry? Obviously, Big Soap, he's one of the organisers. Right, so Just asking. I'm gonna go down myself and watch
But
it. Like,
big boys, he's be unbelievable.
Scored again there the other day, and
Jesus.
he's flying. They have a good, strong squad. Carl Winchester and all saying.
He's running the show.
Flying.
He's absolutely. It's probably too easy for him. You know, playing from England the last 10 years to come to the League of Ireland, he's strolling it. Like anytime I watch a Derry City game, he's just strolling.
Do you ever see some people but who drop a level that they can't really compete at that level? It's like it's a different type of. It's almost same boxing. Say if I fight a novice who just swinging, it's fucking terrible for me. I can't fight someone like that. You actually perform worse.
Aye, so you're dropping that level. Like we, especially in my line of business with the coaching, we have a lot of kids. Like it's fucking hard to make it as a footballer.
Yeah.
Hard, like, you know, as a professional boxer as well. I think it's like 0.09% go on to make an actual professional footballer.
Yeah.
And the problem is when these kids are leaving their clubs in England, you know, their Aston Villas, their Chelseas, Southamptons, Arsenals, whatever it is, they think because I was in, you know, Arsenal or Villa, like, you weren't. You were in Aston Villa under 23s. You were in Arsenal Academy. You know what I mean? You didn't make a first team game.
Yeah.
They think coming back to the Irish League is people's livelihood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you think
100%.
you're going to come in here and just stroll through games, you know you're arching your elbow right and quick.
Big time.
And that's what the problem is. That a lot of players just probably stick their nose up on it and go, "Fuck, I'll come back here and I'll stroll this and I'll get another move in a year."
Yeah,
That's not the way it happens. Definitely not.
No, because see, like you were Aston Villa under. Because remember we were talking with Paddy, remember?
Oh,
like,
fucking
like,
he slayed me in
he
front of
slayed me,
everyone.
in front of everyone.
And then straight over to me here. Sorry about that. Fucking me a dicker to me. Another 50 people.
Should have said sorry on the stage. You come and you had the microphone. But I remember, like, it was like that was class to see him for me going, fuck, that's mad. Like, he knows him on a personal level from as a kid growing up, and then obviously playing against him in a charity game years later. That's like, that's fucking class. And still in Padrov being such a great player for Villa and Celtic. Like a big player for me growing up, I had looked up to, like, going, fuck, that's amazing that he knows him, like, on a personal
100%.
level. Like.
And that was the same with me when I went over to Villa as a 15-year-old, like, and you're seeing, you know, someone you looked up to as a kid, as a Celtic fan, you know, Henrik Larsson, Chris Sutton, and Petrov was the three players that I always looked up to when you were a Celtic fan. So to go and get coached by him and learn everything off him, and to be fair, he was an absolute warrior because he was going through leukemia at the time, and he was still coming in, and he was out running boys and running. This fella was at least 15 kg overweight, with obviously all the illness that was going on with him, and just showed the mentality. Like, people think you're getting it tough, and you have this fella coming in with leukemia, and he's just bashing on training. Like. And to be fair, he said some lovely words with me on that Saturday night as well. And he did make a dicker in front of everyone, but you know, he had a wee lovely conversation with me after, and he goes, "Listen, your career probably didn't play out the way that you wanted it to be. You didn't become a Premier League footballer, but you know, you've turned in to be one of the best Irish League players. You have a successful business, and when you do put in everything in the perspective, you know, you think at a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, you get released in England, you think your world's over. You still go on and do some good things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to keep that hunger. Like, there seems to be like a thing here in like in Northern Ireland where players get released, and they sort of, I don't know, they sort of just drop and drop and drop. It's like lifestyle, you know, like. And like, I've known people in the past who's maybe turned to drink or to go on, they're taking drugs, and they're just when they get home, it's like, I don't know, I know loads, like a good lot of players from I was growing up, like, who's just, I remember when they were kids going across the water, going, fuck, he's way across water, and then when they get to that certain age, it just filters down. I wonder if it's like, do you think when they go away it's lonely or something for them? Then when they get back, they feel like they're missing out on all that lifestyle while their mates out drinking.
I think
and stuff.
I think we get it completely different till the boys who have been through it in England. Like, obviously you're here and you're doing your 2 nights a week training, and obviously all the extra stuff that you want to do. But you know, the contact time you get over in England, you're talking near 14 to 15 hours a week that you're getting already. So they're used to that. They're used to that environment. They're used to, you know, their parents pampering them with everything because that's just what they were used to in their lifestyle. And I think where it's going wrong now with the kids is, the first time they do get a wee bit of money, it does get to them. And it was the same with me when I first got my pro contract, and you get a few quid, and you go from your scholarship wage to your pro wage, and you go, fuck me, that's
What
nice.
was it?
What am I
No,
grabbing
100%.
there? You know, you go out and you buy your Gucci belt and a pair of Gucci
Yeah.
shoes, and next thing you know, you've spent $4,000, the biggest load
Aw.
of shit. But you're going, sure, that's come back next month again.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening with the kids now, because they're not used to that going through their life.
Yeah,
Do you
sort of
know,
need
people
to have,
coming
like,
from working
need to be
class
educated.
backgrounds.
I know, you need to be educated. on-
100%. And especially, you know, setbacks as well. They're over there. Some of them can just go home and sit with their man there,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever it is. You're sitting over there lonely. You're gonna have to probably FaceTime your married, and that's not the
It's
same.
not the
as,
same.
you know,
It's not that
yourself.
comfort. You're not getting that comfort of
No.
like, like your loved ones around you, supporting you and giving you the encouragement you need constantly.
Mhm.
Like if you got a bad injury and you're over on your own, you're just sitting going for like, do you know what I mean? It's fucking.
But I even think now, looking at the kids that I have, we're talking. I've a few kids going across the water and this weekend, and we've had a few back home that's on their off season that we've helped through the last few years. And the pressure put on these kids now from themselves, not even from
Yeah.
the outside of it. You know, social media, they have to be the best. They have to have
Yeah.
every single thing, which is absolutely, it's getting worse.
It's just harder. It's just
mental,
making it harder for themselves because like they have to perform now. Otherwise, they're failing. Like beyond the standards that they're putting out on social media. So if they're not living the standards that their social media is saying, then they probably, no matter what they're doing, they can't post it because it's not good enough. Like let's say someone kid playing for Linfield, star player, win this, win that, scoring this per season, then he goes across the water and he's not doing that. He's not even getting on. He's not even getting on. Let's say he's not getting a sniff. He can't even post what he's doing. He can't post his wee highlights.
No.
Because he's not getting a sniff, and it's like what people think of him back home. He's not over there because there's probably 100 of him.
Oh,
As
exactly.
good as him and better.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's not the man no more. And it's like, oh, see what I mean? People need to be a wee bit more open about themselves and just be like, oh fuck it, want to see a players over here. And
Yeah.
fuck me, I'm good. Want to see over here.
And it's an ego thing as well, because we've been there and done it. Like, you know, Levi coaches with me as well, and we've had like a wee pro camp on for the last 3 weeks. So boys that have been back from England, Scotland, and they like to keep themselves ticking over.
Yeah.
And we done like a wee 5-a-side tournament with the coaches against all the kids. Now you have a load of crack. Like we Reece Wells from Sunderland, D Wells' nephew,
right,
absolute smasher. And then you've Chrissy Offlin all going to Chelsea, Sean Moore, West Ham. So we had a load of boys back home that were keeping ticking over, and we done like a wee 3-team 5-a-side game, and there was, you know, me, Levi, Calvin McCurk, a couple of Irish players, and we didn't lose a game. And they couldn't beat us. None of them could beat us. And what I was trying to instill in them was, like, you think we're doing good here?
Yeah.
For you to get, you know, push on the Sunderland first team, push on the West Ham first team, I couldn't lace our left boot at the right footed. Do you know what I mean? If you're finding it difficult against us, you need to seriously raise your levels to get to the highest standard of football you want to play at. And it's kind of be sometimes a reality check for them. You know, right, I'm doing good. You're doing just all right.
Yeah, you're doing
all good is when you're sitting there and you've got that 4 or 5 year pro and you're settled for the next few years.
Yeah.
Few first team games under your belt, and then you can, you know, have a wee bit about you. Do you know what I mean, Sean?
No, it is. I always say football's like, to watch a footballer like see like before the match kicks off and players just start kicking the ball a bit retouchy. Watching that's like, fuck me, like you don't realise the like how precise everything is when it's like watching, like I remember watching Scholes just ping the ball repeatedly, effortless, boom, just ping across the pitch, the same every single time, not a fucking centimetre in the difference. Like, and I was like, I could watch that all day, and that's just the smallest wee thing he's doing, like, and there's not one thing he's doing wrong, and it's doing that repeatedly, and everything you do under pressure when the game actually starts is like, boom.
Insane.
Boom.
And Rowan said the same about the Celtic when they went to play Celtic at Celtic Park. I think it was 6-0 at half time, and he'd 6 touches, and all 6 were from centre. You know, he didn't get a touch of a ball, and he was just couldn't get near them.
That's crazy.
It's just it's probably in teams' heads when you go to them teams. You just go, right, we're going, like, hopefully we get Celtic in an off day here, but he just said, like, once they turn it on, Sean, like, couldn't get near them.
When you get, like, that's Celtic, and then you can go to the higher level game, you can say like City or Liverpool. It's like what?
Just levels.
It's insane how quick the man thinks when you're watching like Madrid and all, and even like Yamal, we had 17,
insane.
When I watch him, I'm like, oh, he's the best player in the world. I'm saying he's the best player in the world because I watched him in the Champions League semi-final, and every single time he got the ball in the second half, he skinned the player, and every time he had a shot, he hit it on target.
I know.
Every time for the full second half, it was
unbelievable.
I was looking, going, that kid's 17. What the What's going on?
I know, what a feeding him.
What's he doing? Well, how does his mind work? How does his mind develop to do this and have that confidence to go around a player repeatedly and keep doing it and then going in and shooting?
Yeah.
And, I was going, it's insane. And obviously, Barcelona didn't even win, but I'm going, like Messi was nowhere near that good when he was 17.
No,
maybe he was, but he wasn't
remember.
that confident to go and do it on a semi-final of Champions League. Like.
And with the like I say, the amount of social media, like he can't do that. He couldn't fart. That's not the media. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's out for some 30-year-old checking a jet ski and all. Do you know what I mean?
He's getting tortured over it.
He's let the fella have a wee bit of fun, but you know, like, he can't do nothing. He's in the spotlight of everything. He'd walk. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, 100%. He can't even. That's like, I remember Phil Foden when he was a kid. The same. Like, it was all wee stuff like a couple of years ago, where his. But this, like, Yamal's like a whole different level. Like at that age, 17, hardly even developed. You wonder, like, what way is his life going to go? Is he going to be able to just brush it off and just continue on with his career? Is it going to affect him? No one knows what effect it's going to have on people, all that pressure. But, like, sometimes I say this all the time to people, like, as a footballer, if I was a footballer, I would almost rather just play, like, championship, get myself a good fucking 12, 15, 20 grand a week, not be as famous and just be comfortable in life and play at that level. But obviously, I'm saying that from the outside in, because obviously me having a big sporting background, you want to be the best you can possibly be. But with football, it's the fame that comes with it's insane. Like, if you look at Carl Frampton in boxing, 2-time world champion, 3-time world champion, 2-weight world champion. He's set for life. He's he's very wealthy. He's very famous, but he can go out for a pint.
Yeah.
And media won't come near him. Now, people will go near him, but the media won't. It's not like he's going to record every... As a footballer, you can't do it. Even retired footballers.
Yeah, and it's like, even here, like, they try to antagonise you. Like, the video you and call you a hang, and then as soon as you say something back to it, it's posted on Twitter, and it's you're getting absolute dog.
Remember Rooney was here, and your mama says, "Oh, you're ready to bang a granny or something." your mom shouts at him in the video, going, "When are you ready to bang?" And he turns around, and his dad-in-law grabs him back. Goes, "Come on," and he's like, "You fuck," like trying to fake your man. Your man's recording him. So like that's just. For me, that's no way to live, but obviously you still want to be the pinnacle of your sport. It's just a shame the way this country is that you can't have a best of both, and that's why I'm saying playing championship and getting that good wage of, say, like 20 grand a week, not being as famous, like you're
not in the spotlight of everything.
Really want that. You know what I mean?
Go down and have a coffee and sit there and not get absolutely tortured 100%. Or get fucking dog abuse wherever you go. Do you know what I mean? So, it's the same with, like, even Ronan adapting from Irish League to the Scottish League and now international. Like, it's huge jumps.
Yeah, massive.
And where you're going,
obviously,
especially as a local player.
Like, obviously, going up to international levels is different. Like, all the guys, different gravy.
Big time. And I think he's proved over the last year that he's even better.
Yeah.
There's still levels where he can reach up to, and there's probably no disrespect to Ross County. I've watched them 5 or 6 times, but they were a defensive team, so they don't have much of a budget, and their aim is to stay up, and unfortunately they've went down this season. But they get 18 goals in a season, and for a team that it's not, they're not supplanting. It's not Hearts or Hibs or Aberdeen, where you're going to be controlling games and getting maybe 5 or 6 chances a game. He was only getting 1 or 2 chances a game, and for 18 goals in that type of environment where he was used to being at Cliftonville as well, like near enough every game you're trying to win, whereas a point away from home for Ross County is a good result, which it is. So it was hard for him to switch that mentality because Ronan's a winner. Of course, you know what I mean? He's a winner, and I remember him, like, first game of the season, they were playing Motherwell, and they drew 0 each. Now, away to Motherwell, first game of the season, good result.
I take it for.
And he took off 70th minute or something. He rang me after that game. He took off in the 70th minute. And I was like, oh, I know, but he's like, well, should be trying to win it. I was like, I know, but we're on different mindset now. It's going to be, you're used to, we're drawing nil each away to Glens. We're still trying to win.
Yep, 100%.
So it's different at that level. Their aim's to stay up and try and build on that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It was hard for him to adapt to it.
I've never actually thought about that, like in terms of tactics, like going away from home and going like, we'll take a draw here, lads.
100%.
And it's like that mentality where like, it must be very hard if you have a winning mentality to be like, what the fuck he's playing? Just sitting there, like sitting back.
It is.
Like,
yeah.
For me, I'd be like, what are you doing? Let's push. Let's fucking push on for it. And but then on the flip side of that, if you push on for it and see it, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, and then there's dogs abuse,
so
it's settled thing. And he adapted to it well, to be fair, because Ronan used to be an absolute pressing machine as well when he was at the Reds, obviously getting filled with chances. But you know, at Ross County, it's sitting in at your bank, keeping your shape compact, and then going. And it did work majority of the time. It probably worked all up until March, and then they kind of just had a few bad results, and a few teams had a run of form, and it's just unfortunate that they went down.
Yeah, no, it's different. It's just obviously, I suppose it's management too. When a manager comes in, and like a new manager may come in and go, I want you to press, and then you have to adapt again at that level, because obviously no one, like I was thinking, like Carl Winchester was telling me before, I think he was a Forest Green at the time, and he says, I'm fucked here, if a new manager coming in, I don't think he likes me. But then he did like him, and he ended up playing, he got player of the season off him. But he was like, it's mad, like one manager can come in and love me, and then a new manager come in 6 months later and go, I don't want him part of my squad, and it's like, fuck. Yeah. You don't know what your future holds, like.
And it was the same when Magilton joined Cliftonville, because obviously I'd left Northern Ireland to go to Republic of Ireland as a kid. Yeah. And it wasn't Jim who I left. Jim was the 21s manager at the time, but I had left the 19s. Yeah. And Jim had called me up and said, I want to call you up to the 21s, like, and I was like, no, I'm going home. Yeah. Or I said some stupid excuse like, oh, I want to concentrate on my career at Villa or something. He was like, it's an international break, you're off. And I was like, oh, well, I want to go home. And he was just, one of them ones anyway. And then when it did switch, you've got that wee bit of in the back of your head, you don't know what's happening. And I remember seeing him a few years, I was doing my A license a few years ago. I think it was only 22 or 23. I was walking across a pitch, and Jim shouted over the SP Murray, who I was walking with. He goes, SP, is that wee Hale? And I went, I didn't know if he was being serious. And I was like, fuck. And he went, is there no courses down Abbottstown, you wee dick? And I was like, I'm not saying nothing back here. So when Jim got the job at Cliftonville, I was a wee bit sceptical. I just didn't know
what the relationship was going to be like with these.
Obviously I had a decent enough relationship with the previous manager, with Paddy. He had brought me to Cliftonville, and to be fair, first day of pre-season, I remember I was doing the runs round, and I was leading the runs, and Jim said to me, he goes, fuck me, you can run. And I said, that's all I can do, having a wee joke with him. Like. And he said, fucking no chance. He goes, I'm going to make you a star, you're going to be my main man. And that was it. I didn't even need to have a conversation with him about it. He just went, you're going to be my main man. Like. And I went, fucking brilliant. Here's me, I'm going to run through a brick wall for this fella here, just from that wee comment. Yeah. And to be fair, I don't think I've ever played as good as I have in the last 2 seasons under him.
You've been flying, like, but I think now with the new bars coming in, will you go full time next year maybe? So
we're still waiting on the green light with it. I think from what I know, the fans have given the go ahead. Cliftonville, the fan-owned club, member-owned club, so they've given the go ahead. I think it was a proper huge vote in favour of it.
You have to progress, don't you? You have to push on. Like, you do. You'll be left behind because you're starting to see more teams doing it now. And
we are, and like, we were sitting down a couple of weeks ago, and you're going, you still had this team on paper who you've let go over the last 3 seasons, which 100%. Jim and Paddy had. You'd be winning. You'd be qualifying for Europe. 100%. Players we lost for players to go for bigger money or better their careers. Because Luke Turner went to St Pat's. He was absolutely amazing for us. Creighton Gallagher went to Larne. Ronan Doherty's went to Coleraine. Ronan Hales went to Ross County. Ben Wilson's now been signed for 200,000 to go to TNS.
That's unreal.
Sean Moore went to West Ham.
Powerful.
So Luke McNicholas went to Wrexham. So
we had players you could have held on to.
Fuck, if we held on, that's it. It's all down to finance as well, Sean. Because people need to make a living. I've no problem with, if boys need to go to Korean, if they're offering them fucking 3 times their wages.
Why wouldn't you? You have to go,
go for it.
You have to go. So at the end of the day, it's something you've sacrificed a lot of time for, and then people have young families. People want a wee bit of security with their lives.
And it's a short career.
Want to progress. Like, some people, like Joe Gormley was talking to him last week, he was saying he would have loved the opportunity to play full time in the Irish League for Cliftonville, but he won't get that maybe till next year, because they won't bring that in until next year where boys go full time. And I says, well, you never know, he may bang an hour.
If he fucking bangs an hour 20, he'll be saying him to 40. But no, he said that to me as well. He said that even if I got a 1-year deal and the club went full time, I would leave the school for a year and go in and do it, and that's all he wants to do. So I'm all for it as well, 100%. Because listen,
it can only better you as well.
It can.
And bring a stronger fucking togetherness within the team. Like, it's always like, if you're together, doing everything together, like eating together, lunch together, breakfast, training full time, and it's just like you're bringing in, and then you'll bring in better players with the finances and fucking just strengthen.
To be fair, we've hung in there the last few years for us to be challenging the way we've been challenging over the last 4 or 5 years with the finances that most teams have. Like, is
big time.
It's been phenomenal, to be honest. We've brought in near enough 3 trophies. We've got beat in a final, and we've qualified for Europe maybe 3 or 4 times. We had a good go at the league one year with Linfield that beat us by a point.
That's right.
And to be fair, not that season, but the previous 2 seasons, we're hanging in there the April time, and then the squad's done. It happens. Whereas, I remember playing Larne in the first. I think it was, we beat them in the Irish Cup semi-final, and then we played them 3 days later in the league. And we played the exact same starting 11 from the Saturday, but we were absolutely fucked. Where Lauren made 4 or 5 changes, and they were fresh as daisies.
Yep. To have that luxury of that's where the finances comes in it. It's on a standard of Irish League, it's almost like Man City. They can just rotate their squad whenever they want, because they've got the finances, and I know every team in the Premier League are all full time and they're all professional athletes, but it's just having that wider squad and the finances to do what they can do with top players, not just fucking like underage players. Like, you maybe bring in a couple of underage players, reserve players, bring them in, and maybe feed them, but you can't even afford to do that. Like, give Emmons a starting, whereas City can bring in top players.
And I think even again, finances always plays a part. And listen, I'm not saying anybody should be happy being on the bench, but it softens a blow if you're picking up 500 or 600 quid a week. Cliftonville, as a club, could not afford, to have 2 or 3 players, even on half of it, sitting on your bench.
No chance.
Because it just can't. You need that in the starting. But, listen, nobody wants to be sitting on the bench, but it sure does help when you're picking up good wage.
If you're sitting on the bench,
a Larne or a Korean, you're getting the last half an hour, getting rotated. It does soften the blow, but we just couldn't. We can't do that.
It's not in the budget. No, it's not part of the budget.
And that's just where we fall back on.
He was Celtic's has paid player for a while, and he was sitting on the bench. He didn't play for a fucking year and a half. He was on 20 grand a week. I remember seeing a thing on Twitter or something years ago. It was saying Bobo Baldy has sat on the bench for fucking a year and a half.
Bobo Baldy.
And he was on 20 grand. He was Celtic's
they killed you.
Fucking run through a wall. So there you go. And then you seen, I remember, some players signing for fucking players just sitting on the bench getting a fortune every week. Wayne Bridge done it. Wayne Bridge, the guy saying this, because I'm always saying Man City's export Man City. Wayne Bridge joined City for 12 million, sat on the bench for 200 grand a week, or 180 grand a week for a year and a half. Wayne Bridge, fucking 180 grand a week. What the fuck? Useless.
And they get the adage where it's security. Next 3 years, 100%. I'm getting that dough secured, and if you don't want me, you may pay me out.
Oh, exactly. Buy me out, and I'll happily go home and chill out.
And that's where the dough and the finances now is just absolutely insane in the football world.
Big time. Even see that charity event we played there. See the money some of them players were asking for. Just play a charity event.
Insane.
That's insane. That's like fucking what Floyd Mayweather does. Floyd Mayweather goes around having exhibitions and he gets 7 million. 7 million for a fucking 6-round exhibition. That's insane. And then they're just going, I'll play a wee charity match, and they're just fucking on the fence all day and fucking knocking the ball over, getting 40 G's in the pocket. Fuck shit, that's where you want to get. That's where you want to get to.
100%. Petrov's fucking running about.
Here he was on the moke.
They took it serious too, didn't
he was
they?
lethal. I know.
They took it
See, he
serious.
was slapping me for
And your
scoring
goal
that
was
goal.
onside, fucking 3 yards, they were crying about it.
It was McAteer who was doing all the slabbering until the linesman. It was him who played me on.
Oh no.
So I tagged him on Twitter.
Did you?
Didn't reply.
See, Dahl, who's done the linesman, he's a UEFA linesman. Like, he does the qualifiers and all for the Conference League and every underage international games. He does our games and all. So he's probably one of the best linesmen in the country.
Yeah, so he's seen it. Like,
and he was like, honestly, he's on side by about 3 yards.
Yeah.
And your man McAteer was giving him
oh,
fucking dog
shit.
abuse.
And I was like, is they for real?
Fucking let it go, Willy.
It's fucking charity game.
He asked for ball or everything.
Oh, the ball.
As well.
And then in the second half, we were off. And Jamie Robinson, the ref, he does the REC. Obviously, we had brought on a lot of the heavy boys and all. Like, and Giggs was like, there's 12 players on. And Jamie was like, just play on. And Giggs was like, we're not fucking starting. The other player goes off. And they're like, come on the fuck. We're not taking this serious. Like,
see, whenever we see at the very end, Dara turned around and looked like on the pitch. There was like 15 players. And Giggs was just like,
me.
take me off. He just went, I had nothing.
There was 9 of us up front.
Oh, I still can't score.
John Nellis was in nets. And he launched the ball up. And he hit the only player of a white shirt. And there were 20 players of us. And he hit the only player of a fucking white shirt. That summed up our day.
Oh, big time. We were playing with 10 players on stage. Paddy Barnes. Me and you were rolling past each other. I was going, I don't think Paddy Barnes just touched the ball once.
I couldn't take it serious because Cassie and her ma went to the match and she said after, she goes, Rory, we just watched you for the first 10 minutes and all you did was laugh. And I said, I couldn't take anybody serious. And it was until you said to me, here, motherfucker.
I know.
We're taking this serious.
I caught myself on. See, whenever they started slammering, one of them said something, they're like, I think I'm in the attack or something, with Giggs or something, and he fucking, like, I don't know, he sort of like threw a wee bit of weight in there. I was like, fuck, that's all right, man.
Right.
Because I couldn't take it serious here. Because I was like, I don't know even what to do here. Because it was a wee bit surreal going, like, grab Giggs or maybe in the gig. I was like, this is weird. I
was just laughing because William Thompson was playing left back. And honest to fuck, the match had kicked off. Honest, I hadn't even had a touch of the ball. I think it was 2 minutes into the game. And McAteer just walked past him. And I was like, are you alright, lad? And he was like, tell Shane to sub me. And I was like, what? But obviously, he's funny as fuck. So I was just like, I couldn't take him serious. I just started laughing. He was like, no, fucking tell Shane to sub me off here. I'm going to be sick everywhere. So I was like, it kicked off like 2 minutes ago, lad. Are you going to be sick? And he was like, fucking sub me off. So I had to shout over to Shane. And Shane was like, just get off a pitch to him. Because he was playing left back. Sure, fuck's like, Paddy then. Come on.
I got a short stride. He was doing left wing. Stuck round to it, left back.
You'd think Paddy found a fiver. He didn't fucking move off that spot and left back and looked like he was just standing on it. It did him that knee brace on. Oh, Jesus. Honestly, it was one of the funniest first 20 minutes I've ever had in my life.
It was unreal.
It was unbelievable.
On the bird, I was going, this is nuts. And fucking, it was just chaos on a pitch.
The amount of injuries were popping up in our team, and like we had 4 hamstring injuries. And I was going, like, Willie Grattan, come on, he was going to me, fuck, I've hamstring tear here. I started playing 5 and 6, pulled my hamstring, went for one run and pulled his hamstring again.
He was running with his hand on his hamstring while he was running.
I said, lads, what do you do during the day? Does none of you exercise? Like,
none of them move, like, fuck.
Honest to God, but the wee William Thompson playing left back, well, McAteer just walked past him, and I was like, lad, you're not going to stop across. He's like, sub me now. Get me off the fuck.
McAteer's older than a black mountain too.
It was hilarious. The whole day was brilliant, to be fair, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. It was well done. I think I was talking to Paul Harkin from Praisegate, and he was saying next year he'll do it properly. He says, if I'm going to come in, I'm going to take, like, obviously it's Tommy, the charity, it's he always does a great job and they do well, but I think they could have done a wee bit better. No one knew about it. See, whenever I posted photos and videos of it, the amount of people who messaged me or replied on my story going, what the fuck, I never even knew this was on. And none of my mates even knew it was on until I told them, like, and we're like, well, like, I mean, Berbatov was going to be playing, and we're like, fuck.
To be fair, I got a late shout from Shane about it, and I think it was only maybe the Thursday that I could put up with the full teams.
Yeah.
And of course, I got my name mixed up and put fucking Ronan in it. So Ronan texted me going, "Are you playing this match?" And I said on. He goes, "I fucking everyone texted me here said, are you playing in this match? They had a fucking playoff game on the Monday, so
I wouldn't
he was definitely not playing in." But then I obviously shared the story, and then all the boys were like, "Fuck, is that this Saturday?" I was like, no one really knew about it at all.
I think like Paul was saying, like if he'll get involved next year and do it properly, like really do it, like do loads of video content around it.
Because there were
like,
some big names there, like Paul Hughes,
right?
playing in the
match.
match.
Fucking Paul Hughes, yourself, we Dart, like everyone, Shane, they're all massive names. Like they've all like hundreds of thousand followers. Like
I know
what I mean.
I had a load of kids that company are coaching that came to the match, and one was talking to one of their parents, and he just goes, like you look at all the sports people on there, Rory's playing, Gage, Berbatov.
Yeah.
You had Paul Hughes, MMA, and
Reese McKee, UFC.
And then he wanted a photo with Big John Nellis, the
YouTuber.
YouTuber.
I know.
And his dad's going, "What's going on? He's on a million of subscribers."
He's like 7 million subscribers on YouTube. It's insane, isn't it? Fucking madness. I seen a thing with him the other day. He had like he does all this, like the football stuff, like, and he put like a football on a dartboard. And know the valve. He had the valve sticking out in where the bullseye would be, so he had the ball sitting like whatever way he had it stuck to a dartboard. He was throwing darts at it. It took him 80 darts to throw a dart and get it stuck right inside the valve. I was like, what the fuck? And the views must be massive. He does all stuff like that. Just like people be like, it's just like guess how many shots it took me to get a dart inside this valve. And 80 I says, fuck, so be already, it was about 100 trying to throw it.
And to be fair, see, even with them boys, like, obviously, yourself being from Belfast, you get tortured with fans and supporters, and, when you're doing well as well, especially, everybody wants to know you, everybody wants to, but see, to be fair to them boys, like, you're not Paul Hughes after selling out the SSC, and he got absolutely tortured. He stood for every single photo and every single
at the end,
coming
down like 9-inch nails, fuck's sake.
He stayed out there for 25 odd minutes, like, and
that's what's good about this place, like, I think everyone in Belfast or even in Ireland as a whole, anyone I know south, north of your border, it doesn't matter, everyone just seems to be very down to earth, you know what I mean? It's like no one really separates themselves from society. That's like I was saying earlier about Carl Frampton would just go and have a pint and he would talk to people and how right fella and how I can get a photo with him, and that's it, and that's the way it works. No one really separates themselves from society, kids or anyone.
No.
And I think that's just something like very special about here. Like even like
you want kids to look up to you, but don't you?
Because you want them to be the same. I think you want kids to be the same as you. You don't want kids to be like like turn themselves away from fucking.
And you look at Belfast and you look at how hard you've had to work from you were probably 14 years of age the graft to get to where you are now, and you're still not where you want to be. Like you still a lot more to give. I'm the exact same, but you want kids to look up and go, And it was a wee thing that we were talking about when we won the Irish Cup. And when we were around the schools and all, and they were talking about, and they said, like, who's your idol? Who do you look up to? And all, and the kids were going, Ronaldo and this, and I was like, my granda.
Yeah,
I don't need a celebrity. I want kids now, if they're asked that question, am I making a positive influence in their life?
That's it,
is Rory Hale, do they want to be a Rory Hale when they grow up? Do they want to be a Ronan Hale? That's what would mean a lot to me. Or a boxer, I want to be a Sean McComb when I'm older. And it just gets that. Imagine you turn down kid away if they go, here, can I have a photo?
I know exactly.
Here. Do you know what I mean? You want kids to come up to you and go, listen, that's who I want to look up to and be when I'm older.
Big time. Because there's like that saying, like people say never meet your idol, because it's like it'll turn you off him or it'll put you off him. But like you don't want to be that idol who put you. You want people to be like, I give everyone my time no matter what, anywhere. Like. Like we're out for dinner and all, people have come over to me while I'm eating my dinner, and I don't mind that. No, I do want to eat my dinner in peace with my family, but like Dervla would say to me, "Fuck sake, like you're eating your dinner, get on that." Like probably just thought. Now me personally, I would never approach anyone for a photo, no matter what. Like I've met like been in Tyson Fury's company, I've been in loads of people's companies, but I've never said you can get a photo. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? It's enough for me to know I've met them and know what they're like as a person. Simple as that.
You don't need a photo to know.
Prove it, but some people do. People just love that. I don't mind giving it, like going here, go ahead, jump the forward sign and stuff. Or randomers message me all the time, be like, "Here, what are you saying to me? You saying this? We do a video shoot out at such and such." Like people I don't even know, don't even know who they are. We do a video for my son. He loves you, and it's his birthday. I go, "I no sweat." Someone texted me the other day, "We do a video for my dad. It's a 70th for me." No sweat.
Send the bank details underneath. We score.
Send them voice. We score. But like your mom, remember the air lad with the baldy head just sitting in the nip?
Who was that?
He used to shade in the cups and all, and like do all stuff like that. And people he sits in the nip and out and fucking I forget his name. And he does video shades for people for like a fire.
You need to send me this here. I need to see it.
I think they done one for Paddy Barnes on a stag. He does like he sits in the nip, he dances and all, and the nip does like shout-outs for people for like a fiver.
He was some laugh in that fucking match.
Fuck me, he was useless. That's why I says him on this podcast. You playing?
I know. Are you sure score all the time?
Fucking useless.
Sure, I parked at McLean's and I was walking past and there he was getting scuffed in near Rossi's ice cream. Scuffed
That's
in
the
near
worst.
Rossi's
I
ice
don't
cream.
even know. See, Paddy, I don't think Paddy has sad times where he eats them like you have your breakfast. I think he just eats when he just eats and it's not even like...
Sure, I went to him as soon as we finished. I said, "Are you going for a beer here?" And he's like, nah, I've got this high rocks in the morning. I'm not going. We went up there last down. There he was, first one there. Pint of Guinness. I thought you weren't drinking. Whose high rocks cancelled, their partner cancelled on me, and I was like, "Fucks."
We used to go to, like, say we went to Nando's. We went up there telling ordered Nando's. God, like whatever, and then he went, guess what I am? That's why we cause our creams before Nando's and just go and eat it. I go, that's like a dessert. That's like you get for me a cup of coffee.
He's having a wee late night.
He was eating it before his Nando's come out. I was like, they're fucking great. I was like, you just come wait an extra 10 minutes and your Nando's coming out.
Wait for your wings to come out for your starter. That's brilliant.
Straight in dessert first. And anybody does Nando's go on, he gets something sweet. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant.
Fucking heavy. He just loves it. But I fucking so the season ahead now, what's the goals for you? Just we'll finish on what would you love to achieve this year with Cliftonville? Before maybe the money might not start this year for you, will it?
Nah, I don't think so.
What do you think what would you love for Cliftonville to achieve this year before the money comes?
For me, the baseline every single year when we step into pre-season is qualifying for Europe again for next pre-season. You know, that's the minimum for playing for Cliftonville. Luckily enough, I've played in 5 or 6 finals in the last few years. So getting in our major final is very important because you want to keep that winning mentality instilled in the group. And the only thing I haven't won is a league title. I've won everything else.
Yeah.
So the missing piece of jigsaw now is a league title, and I lost it by a point one year.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
That's me aim. Obviously this season's going to be very difficult with the finances. Korean have brought in serious quality.
Korean.
Linfield are already.
They always have it. They've just.
And I always say at the start of the season, you finish above Linfield, you win the league.
Yeah.
You do, and
not anymore. It's like
it's the amount of teams now that have got the finances to compete. So it's going to be difficult for me. A trophy in European football is the goal.
Yeah.
On a personal level, again, I've been in team of the season the last 2 years. I got player of the year before. It's probably being nominated for player of the year again.
Yeah,
and
100%.
That's the goal for me. To just on a personal level is keeping that consistency. And it's going to be difficult. We had a terrible league campaign last year, but we're hoping if we get a good pre-season, good European games under our belt, and I can drive us into that and push on to get a massive tag against Rovers if we win this game. That'll put us in good stead getting into the league. And we've got the fixtures out on Monday, and first 5 games, that's what you want. You get Bangor, Korean, Linfield, Larne and Carrick. It's fucking brilliant. Bring them on, you know what I mean? I love the big game. So looking into this season, another trophy would be absolutely amazing, but the minimum requirement's Europe. 100%.
Do you feel like you're like a leader now in the squad, a main leader, main character in the squad? Do you think that drives your game? Do you think that's like I need to show up and I need to step up to play at every game? It's like I think it says pressure because something like that for me, I'd be like I would be an honour for me to be like, right, it's up to me here.
Aye.
Like, if I need to be at that level every week playing, because these lads behind me that aren't need to be fucking knowing what's required here. Like,
yeah, and I am quite vocal. I give the boys a tough time, but I always say to them as well.
Love, isn't it? Like,
if I'm not shooting at you, I've give up on you. I mean, I don't give a fuck about you, and you'll not last long in this team if I don't give a fuck about you. Do you know what I mean? So I am quite vocal, but I do like to show it by what I'm just. Give me the ball, I'll run 60 yards with us balls. If I can do it, you can do it. I like to show the leadership rather 100%. Than just be barking in orders and listen, there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to back it up.
You have to back it up yourself.
100%. You know yourself being in the game, Sean, and in the professional boxing game. You gotta turn up when it matters. Exactly. And I think I have over the last few years. I'm still really disappointed in how the season ended with the Irish Cup final, because I think it's more one that got away from us.
Would have been the icing on the cake. Like, and sort of think going there obviously as we're favourites, but like there's always that element that they're wee bogey safe Cliftonville, and maybe but like is running an early game, and the game it sort of got away from me. So it was lost rather. Like it was yours to lose.
100%. And I don't know if you've experienced it in your boxing career because you've been fucking successful, but I know there's ups and downs everywhere you go. But that was one that you're going fucking back-to-back Irish Cup champions. That one you could have talked about that for the next 50, 60 years. It was one of them ones that hurt because you're going, that one really got away from us there, because you're cementing your place in history books.
Exactly.
Double champions, back-to-back Irish Cups, because you'd won the League Cup, you won the Irish Cup. And it was just one of them ones that got away, and that's where it took for me as the captain of the club to go, listen, we've another game on Tuesday here against the Glens.
Yeah, they'll dust it off and go again.
You can sit there and crap at it all you want. You'll see me at the Oval on Tuesday night.
100%.
If you're with me, you're with me. And to be fair to the boys, the performances they put in, they go and beat the Glens 2-0 and then beat Coleraine 2-0.
And because the Glens were a strong squad there. Like,
both of them.
Big two smashing squads there. Like,
Coleraine were probably the most informed
team.
Show you,
like, the performance you put on against the Glens and Coleraine, if you just fucking give a performance in a final, now a final's different, and that final could have been the difference. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how can we do this on a fucking Tuesday?
You win that final, you don't need to go to
exactly.
fucking Oval.
Exactly.
You're 100% right. But again, when you sit down and you look at everything that's happened throughout the year, like, I am quite demanding for a team that's not full time, but that's the levels that I'm at, and that's the standards that we've set over the last few years. And it was actually until we had a couple of beers on the Sunday night after we beat Coleraine, you sit down and you go, you know what a fucking season that was. To lose the amount of players that we lost. We lost 60 goals with Rory Hale, Ben Wilson, Sam Ashford. We lost 60 odd goals, and then we lost Big Luke Turner, we lost Cricky Gallagher, Ronan Doherty went to Coleraine. To finish the season, we won a League Cup, beating penalties in the Irish Cup, and we qualified for Europe, and we lost a teammate during that season.
Right. That's right.
And luckily for me, what I have and what one of my strengths are is strong mentality, and nothing can break me.
Yep.
Not everybody's like me.
No, not everyone's like that.
No.
So they're different. They're going to suffer different ways. They're going to fucking feel it.
And that was hard for me to go, how the fuck are you not? You're not playing, and you forget everything that's happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone deals with it differently. Like, I remember, I got the text of Connor Pepper, and I rang Jim straight away, and I was sitting in the car with my partner, and Jim had said to me, he's like, Rory, we need you to push through these lads. But I was quite close with Michael, but I just burst out crying. I hadn't cried in fucking 10 years. Do you know what I mean? I think the last time I cried, I got released by Villa, and it was one of them moments, sober moment, like, you're just going, see me, it was his birthday.
That's right.
It was his birthday, and we had a match that night.
Yeah, fuck me.
And I think that one hurts.
Because I remember thinking that match had been cancelled. I thought that match would be called off.
Oh, why? And listen, when someone passes away in their 60s or 70s, you go, listen, that's life.
He had his whole life ahead of him.
But for a 28-year-old footballer who had, his whole life ahead of him as well,
crazy,
it was very upsetting. And I did take it bad, but life does have to go on, and I used that as my motivation going forward. You know, we got the number 5 in their shirts, which was a lovely touch from our kit man. Because, you know, if anything was getting tough or you're playing in a match, and you know, I remember playing away to Larne on the semi-final of the League Cup, and again, everything comes back to good moments. You know, that big day, you were probably at the final when we beat the Glens. What an occasion. 15,000 fans, beating the Glens 1-0. You get the party for a couple of days. But behind the scenes, you played Larne in the semi-final on a Tuesday night, and we were down near Bare Bones. We actually played with Corn Madden, who's 15 years of age. We were down near Bare Bones.
He assisted,
and the morning after was our flight to Newcastle for the funeral. So to go and win that in the last kick of the game on the Tuesday night, when the going's getting tough and you have a wee look down, you see the wee 5 in your shirt, and you're going, fuck, I can run extra. You know, I can do that extra run.
It like a wee, get you goosebumps now if you're saying stuff like that.
100%.
Like, that's what it's for, you know what I mean? And then,
because that fella, Michael, like, he had honestly, Noobs would have trained every session like it was his last. He had a 2-footed. John, you'd have been running with a ball, and Jim would be shouting, please, no tackling. Michael, no. And he would just empty. He didn't care. And I'd be going, I remember him emptying me in a pre-season game, just training game. Fuck's it, Noobs. He was, get on with it. I mean, all right.
Fair enough. All right.
But that was the type of things that you forget about, Sean, when you know you get beat in a cup final and you're dwelling on everything. You're going, he never played. And you're going, I know, fucking give him a bye ball. So again, it's been a very difficult season, but a successful one for me, and I think we've done him really proud this year.
Considering everything that came in, you've done fucking brilliant considering the circumstances of everything the players you've lost, and just everything that was going on. Fucking obviously, people. Because you can imagine what people are, like you say, everyone deals with stuff differently, but you imagine people going to like going in and being like, fuck no, like near enough trigger point for like people going like, fuck me, this is mad, like he's not like, and that's all they think about through the game. Like you're thinking, like there are people who could be just sitting thinking about him.
And the boys shared a house, so the boys had the club have a house, and I think there's maybe 5 or 6 of them living in a big massive house at the club thing. So any players we get from Ireland or England and Scotland, so I think there was 6 of them in the house, and you know there were 5 young boys in with him. You know, you're talking from 18 to 21, and he was the big brother in the house. Do you know what I mean? He cooked the dinners, paid the bills, looked after them. So you kind of forget again that could have affected them. And imagine them was walking into the house and his room, stuff's there, and you forget about all stuff like that there, and it really does put everything into perspective. I
know, 100%. So fucking big season ahead then. So
massive season ahead, 100%. Let's try and get another trophy and another day out for all the boys.
100%. We'll get another charity event next year, and we'll fucking
me and you up front this time
now. We'll keep William Thompson in the gap.
Paddy.
Alright, folks, he's still on the pitch. He's starting that fiver. Listen, cheers for coming on, lad. Appreciate it. Good man.